We already discussed the relationship between the frames and the images inside them, but there is a very useful option or set of options to fit the content to the frame. These icons are the frame fitting options here, all 5 of them, and even there's an option called auto fit, which is also very useful. Let me show you all of these. And by the way, they can also be found under the object menu, fitting, and they also have their keyboard shortcuts assigned to them. So if you want, you can even learn these or customize the keyboard shortcuts if you prefer to use them that way. So first of all, let me change the frame a bit. I am going to make it smaller. Now, if I click on this icon here, the fill frame proportionally, that will fill the frame in with the image, but it will keep the proportions. So because my frame is not the same aspect ratio as the original aspect ratio of the image, there will be some parts missing of this image. But InDesign tried to do its best to fill the frame and still keep the proportions of the image. So we will be able to see what's missing if we click on the content grabber tool, and then on the left and right we can see there's a bit of a missing content. So this fill frame proportion is useful. It tries to just show as much as possible of the image, but it will still have some parts missing if the aspect ratio of the frame is not exactly the same as the image. Well, if I click on the next one, which is called fit content proportionally, if I click on that, then there will be no missing parts, but the image won't fill the whole frame. So the fill frame proportionally fills the whole frame, but have some missing parts, while the fit content proportionally will show everything of the image, but it won't fill the whole frame. Then we have the options to fit the content to the frame, but not proportionally. So if I click on this one, it will stretch the image to make sure it's all filled. And we can also choose to fit the frame to the content. That's the 4th option, which will keep the image as it is, and it will only fit the frame to the content itself. The last option is just to center the content in the frame. So if it's not centered, let me just move it a bit around. I'm going to select the frame, and I'm going to move it around, and then move the image itself in the frame. So if I click on center content, it will be centered in the frame. So now I'm going to double click on one of the corner points to fit the frame to the content. And let me show you the last option called auto fit, which is a very useful option, because in this case, if I change the frame, the image will always try to follow it. So it will always try to fit as close as possible to the frame itself. If I click on fill frame proportionally and have the auto fit on, then the two will work together. The image will fill the frame completely and show as much as possible. So the two options together are probably the best. Fill frame proportionally together with auto fit if you don't want to always adjust the image to the frame. That's all what you need to know about frame fitting options, but remember you can always use it from the menus, so you don't always need to use the icons, or you can use the keyboard shortcuts, or you can also open the frame fitting options menu. If you go to right click on the image, choose fitting, and choose frame fitting options. So with this, you will get this little dialog box, and here you can choose exactly what you want to do with the fitting. In the next video, I'm going to show you another very useful tool called the gap tool, which can help you to define the empty space between images.